Hey everyone, thank you for joining us. Marcia Green with our home warranty part of the company. And I am going to start recording this and I'm just going to turn it right over to Marcia. This is our orientation day and we have two brand new agents with us. I am going to turn it around so you'll get to see Amber Walker and Doretha McDonald that's sitting here with us, and whoever joins us on the screen, but right now I'm going to start recording and I'll turn it over.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me here today. And it's so nice to meet everyone in our new normal of virtual. Hi, just to let you know, I'm Marcia Green from American Home Shield, and I've been with American Home Shield about 7 years now. And I've actually was an American Home Shield consumer 5.5 years before that. So been affiliated with American Home Shield almost 13 years now. And I've been in your client's shoes. So just able to be here for you, and I'll get started. Sheila had highlighted today, this isn't a home warranty 101. This is just to highlight just a couple updates, and then she wanted me to speak on marketing materials that we have available. So I'm available for one-on-ones, for home warranty. I don't know, for being new, that doesn't necessarily mean new to the industry. It could be just new to the office. So I'm happy to follow up with, anyone at any time regarding any questions about home warranty. So let me see if I can share my screen. Can you all see?
Yes.
Okay, great. Let's see. Okay. I'm starting with home inspections. Everyone is aware, I had this the last time, and the only reason I'm highlighting these couple of slides before I get into marketing is because daily I receive calls from, not necessarily from your office or branch offices, but just regarding of how the home inspection report, the home warranty can help with the home inspection report. I have highlighted when you purchase seller buyer coverage in place before the home inspection, it can help with failures. So sometimes things on the report are not failures. The home inspector may list certain items, but it helps with failures on the report. I'm happy to, I do this, now it's been almost every other day, looking at different inspection reports from agents and getting it back to them as far as what items they can make a service request for. So, but just getting a lot of calls about having the home inspection in hand and then asking, well, if I get the home warranty, would these items be covered? And then of course they wouldn't, because they'd be pre-existing conditions. Does that make sense? Like having a car accident without any car insurance, and then you drive home in the driveway, then you go in the house to call call an auto insurance company and then ask for auto insurance. Obviously the damage to the car without any insurance would not be covered, but once you get that repaired, then it would be. So this is the same principle as far as having the coverage in place. Anyone ever deal with multiple offers? I know you all may have seen this from last time. I'm going to get into other things. Just want to highlight, because this is also something that agents talking about, is how to make your offer stand out from other offers. Just read the arrow where it says a buyer can purchase seller buyer coverage. I repeat, because if the seller multiple offers, typically they might not be offering, probably not a warranty, maybe not. So the buyer can offer seller buyer coverage, and the buyer is actually treated just like a seller. So if they purchase the coverage and it doesn't close, they don't pay for the warranty either. But in this case scenario, this is saying that the buyer to pay for a 1-year American Home Shield warranty. Upon mutual acceptance of our offer, we will purchase home warranty coverage prior to home inspection and extend listing coverage to the seller at no additional cost to them. Because even during the pandemic, I just got off another call, Caldwell Banker call, failures are still happening. So failures are still happening for the seller, and if there's no warranty being offered for the buyer, when they move in, they can still have failures as well on covered items. So giving the buyer, besides winning the offer, I've dealt with many lately where there was only buyer only coverage, and then there were failures or things on the inspection report, And without having that seller's coverage, those items weren't covered. So I get calls now almost daily about that issue. So that's the only reason I'm highlighting. May be applicable to you all. You may say, Marsha, I already know that and I'll move on. But I'm only highlighting this because it seems like every other day I'm getting calls just in general from agents asking the question. So whether it's assisting the buyer with seller buyer coverage or the seller with seller buyer coverage, they're both treated the same as far as no one pays for it until closing. Anybody have any questions? Just also highlighting, I'm just going to highlight as far as how many claims.
There's a question.
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry. So if you already have AHS, American Home Shield.
My apologies, I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Hold on a second.
I'm so sorry.
No. Can you hear me better now? Can you hear me a little
Yes.
better now? If you already have American Home Shield, which is I do.
Okay.
I already have American Home Shield and I did buy it when I purchased my home in September. Now I'm selling the house.
Okay.
And now I'm selling the house. So now am I able to transition that over to the new buyer?
Oh, great question. I deal with that a lot where like you said, you have the coverage and you're selling a home. Well, there's three options that you have. You can keep your coverage in place and then offer the remaining months to the buyer to have it transferred. So say if, you close on August 1st and it goes to the end of the year. So that means the buyer could have just those remaining months from August 1st to the end of the year. So it's just transferred. You can have your coverage in place and you can, if you want to offer a 1-year coverage to the buyer, simultaneously to have it set up on the closing date, your coverage would stop, all your payments, whatever, that system stop, and then the buyer would have a 1-year warranty, which would be paid for by you. So we'd set that up ahead of time so there's no lapse in coverage. So your coverage would stop on the closing date and their coverage would start. Or I've only had this happen once where you just decide to not offer coverage to the buyer and then you'd have to pay an early term cancellation fee, which is typically 1 month premium. And then your coverage would be set up to stop the day of closing if you were not offering coverage. That makes sense? So it gives you 3 different scenarios that you could do. Oh, or, which folks, no one has done, but this is also an offer. If you cancel your coverage to purchase the seller buyer coverage, but typically sellers may not do that because you may have more coverage depending on the plan that you have. But I'm a resource for you to be able to give you your options, the specifics of your plan, how many days left, what's the scenario, and also if you do have your coverage and you're offering 1 year to the buyer, you may have a credit that can be applied toward the purchase of you. You may have paid your warranty in full, so now there's a credit for those remaining months that can be applied toward the new, or we'll work that through. But that's something that's available. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to follow up with you specifics if you'd like.
Thank you.
Does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Okay. This you all should have started to get. I just wanted to highlight service cards. And if you haven't, you'll be getting them as far as this allows you to see what your clients have received in claims. It gives you an opportunity to reach out to them and to be able to follow up with them. So anyone has received these, you're getting them from American Home Shield from your past clients, or if you're new to the office, perhaps you haven't, but you will. Now for this, anybody care to guess how much American Home Shield has saved clients and paid out in claims from January, but for about 1.5 years time, between January 2019 and June 2020?
Sure. Oh, I'm just saying. Wow.
American Home Shield has paid out for your 6 offices $171,000, and this is our cost for our 719 claims, and this makes it about $342,000 that we've saved your clients in claims. Now, no, 100% of the time, we know that all claims don't go perfectly, and I'm here for you to be able to follow up on that. But just in general, typically they do go right, and if they don't, please reach out to me, which you all do, and I continue to follow up. Now, Sheila wanted me to do the comparison. You guys have seen this again. And I need to move this on the side, out of the way. Okay. Everybody see it?
Yes.
Okay. This is when, okay, so now there's 2 warranty companies that you do have available to offer. So usually agents, I have many agents that just send me a property address and then they say, hey, which one should I get? And I love doing that and I'm happy to do that for you. So usually when I do that, there's a couple of things I look at. One, service fee usually isn't the deciding factor, you know, because it's the difference between, you know, $100 or $75. More things that are more issues with is, do they have an HVAC system using R22? That means, is it an older system? Why is that important? That may supersede everything else and I don't even have to move forward because American Home Shield pays $10 per pound for coverage, and for HSA, all the Freon would be included. So I come to mind for that. For older water heater in the home, American Home Shield does not pay for modifications, and with the 7-star upgrade program, HSA includes $300. Does anyone ever work with high-end appliances? May not ever be applicable, so it may not matter. Or maybe some homes, maybe it does, depend. So maybe the client's more concerned about, hey, I have that, I'll just throw, you know, that GE profile, you know, whatever it is, and it would be about $3,000 to replace that refrigerator and their dishwasher and different appliances. So they would be more concerned about having, you know, their appliances because they have high-end appliances. Plus maybe they might have the older system. So when it's a new system, I didn't mention this, it comes fully charged with 410A. So when it's newly system, it comes charged with 4, and that's not applicable if they're getting a new system or if they have a new system. But if it's an older system with R22, and also let me just highlight about R22, because I've been having this a lot lately. Everybody know about the EPA regulations for R22? And the reason I'm highlighting this is because R22, it's illegal to manufacture it in the US, it's illegal to import it in the US, but the existing quantities can be used for repairs. I had to follow up with one of the inspectors because on his report it said that the homeowner had to replace their system because R22 was illegal. And I followed up with him and he updated it because for repairs, R22 is not illegal. When that happened, it's not as if they destroyed it nationwide and then everybody would have to go out and get a new system. So this just means when it's repairs, you're able to use R22 in the system. But if it's a new system, it comes fully charged with 410A. And then, let's see. Oh, excuse me. This is in the way, excuse me. Appliance coverage in the listing period. American Home Shield does not have that, but HSA does have dishwasher, range oven, cooktop, washer, dryer, built-in microwave, refrigerator not included. So that may be something that's important. So if they want to make sure they have old appliances and they may fail during the listing period, so that's something covered. Or I've had agents call and say they weren't concerned about anything else except roof coverage. I need you to have roof coverage. I said, well, yes, with HSA, but all home warranty companies, it's not as if I had to tell them that the roof would be replaced. So it's only just for roof leaks up to $500. Concerned about lack of maintenance or rust and corrosion or undetectable pre-existing conditions. This is a significant advantage with American Home Shield because in all of our plans, they have these coverage items where in HSA, even at the lower cost, you would have to have the 5-star upgrade, which would include those items. So American Home Shield, a little higher price, but with HSA, we get the 7-star upgrade, you can add these additional items. Also, if you're going with homes that are over 5,000 square feet and under 10, typically I go straight with HSA because the pricing is in the same as the brochure. With American Home Shield, the pricing is higher. So once again, but it would depend on if they have high-end systems or multiple HVAC units. And then lastly, for all of, whether it's a condo or townhouse in Virginia, Maryland, I highlighted these all in yellow because it's actually less expensive with American Home Shield, comparing apples for apples, because even though the base plan is lower with HSA, when you add the 7-star upgrade and the $40 HVAC seller's coverage, it makes it higher. So I just highlighted all of them. So if you're dealing with a townhouse in any of the states that you cover, that it would be less expensive with American Home Shield. I'm always happy to help you to decide. Like I said, I have many agents that just send me a property address and I'm happy to sign. I mean, actually I give suggestions because it's ultimately your client's decision. But the great thing is now you have some folks, it's just a matter of cost. So we go through that. I only have X amount. So what do you have for that? So then I can send over that information. And it's just like anything to do. The more you do it, then the easier it becomes. I'm just here to help you and to make this easier. So if you have any questions, and it gives you an alternative to be able to offer an excellent brand with HSA at a lower cost. So it just depends. Does anybody have any questions? I know it's a lot of information, but just wanted to be able to highlight. And also with American Home Shield, there's a sample national contract that has these specific coverage details. And of course, with HSA, the information is in the brochure. Any questions?
No.
American Home Shield has marketing materials. Sheila wanted me to mention. We have sign riders, we have refrigerator magnets, tent cards, open house kits, which is the lower area to the right where there's balloons, there's flyers, there's lockbox protectors. I don't know for open house if you all are having physical open houses, you guys, yet, or they're all just virtual? Are you guys having any actual physical?
Both.
No? Okay, well.
Both, BOTH, both.
Okay, well, but they're just available for you at no charge. The brochure has been updated with a Coldwell Banker logo. There's also a Moving 101. There's so many marketing materials. And then just lastly, I'm going to be talking about OnMark Pro. Oh, excuse me, HSA has the same thing as far as marketing materials, and they're free. So you just let me know if you're interested. I can have them sent to your home or to your office or whatever you would like. And this presentation will be available. Now there's OnMark Pro. I talked about this before at meetings and mentioned I was going to come back and get more information about it. This is where you can customize marketing materials with your face, with the Coldwell Banker logo. So you can be able to do that. And this is all specific to you. So it's helping you every step of the way. It's for OnMark Pro. And this is, like I said, it's actually, you can, templates that you can send out, and there's also printing as well. How do you do that? You go on the website, name, your image, your phone number, company name, logo. And if you're a NAR member, you can add that too. How do you start using them? You go to onmarkpro.com, you create username and your personal password that only you have. Then you fill that in, new information, you fill it in. It takes you to here. And then you go to the marketing tab, OnMark Pro. And that's simple to get to it. It's gonna be just personal to you. So now what do we have? I know in Coldwell Banker family, there's so many different marketing materials, but if you want to branch off and also do other items to the left, it gives you categories of what to choose from. And then it could be something simple as all the different flyers here. So can you all see them? Yeah. I don't know if it's large enough to see, but 4 things to do before you buy, or different fixes that you can do, things that you can do to your home, any type of marketing. There's newsletters, whether it's moving checklists, just listed announcement, open house registry, open house announcement, home wish lists for your clients, all different types. And what's in the lower left corner would be where that box is would be your face and your information. And these can be in an email blast, you can do that. And I'm going to get to printing as well. All the different farming that you can home sweet home, all different types of things. This is just a sample of some of them that you can go on there, and this just gives you more tools to be able to farm, like as I know that you all have already in the Coldwell Banker website, I believe, or how you all work through that to be able to have your existing marketing tools. Just gives you something else to add to your arsenal. All different types of things. Things that'll help you sell, stage your home before you buy, most out of your home, get the attention. I mean, all types. They could spend all day just going in there and seeing all the things that are available. Once again, it's all personalized to you. There's newsletters, more tips. There's an appliance discount program. This is where if your appliances are working fine, but you just want to be able to purchase new appliances, to be able to go on that site to be able to do that. You can download the information to be able to save the materials to print. This one, we have a national account with FedEx, so you can use that number that's there, and that allows you, that's the number that you all can use, and it saves you on your printing. So I don't know if anyone's printing now with the pandemic, but if you do get back to that, that's something that's available, and that's just something you can use. And I know that the printing varies depending on the discount. I believe it's between 30 and 40%, I believe you can get. So it depends on if you do that printing that's available for you. And that's actually all I had today, unless Sheila, you wanted me to highlight anything particular. Like I said, I'm happy to follow up. This wasn't a home warranty 101. This was just kind of talking about the marketing materials that are available on OnMark Pro. It makes it very easy. Just also want to let you know that I'm here for you to be able to follow up, whether it's questions about the warranty, whether it's claim assistance, whether it's whatever hat that you need it to be. I'm happy to be able to follow up with you. Does anybody have any questions?
For the new agents about the rekey, I think that's an awesome.
Oh, yes, yes. Rekey is a service where a buyer gets up to, and I'll add that to the presentation because I'll send this to you. A buyer gets up to 6 exterior locks rekeyed. So it's actually the keyhole rekeyed, not the hardware. So you can get the 6 exterior locks rekeyed. They get 4 identical keys, and it's just the cost of the trade service fee. So if it, depending on what state it is, West Virginia and Pennsylvania have tax, but Virginia, Maryland do not. So, so that's available. So homeowners, and also, I'm glad you mentioned that, Sheila, because our call volume is up now. It's our peak time anyway, but because of the pandemic, call volume has been up. So that means don't ever have your clients experience hold time. Please contact me so that I can assist with that. So whatever it is, I'm happy to do that for you. But, and also if they need assistance with placing a rekey service request, I'm happy to help that as well. Because I've done that for many buyers where I just, make the call and I conference them in.
Is there anybody that's here or any of the agents that's online right now? Do you have any questions or any testimonies that you can share about the warranty? Michael, do you have anything you want to add?
No.
I think we're good, Marcia.
Okay, great. Well, like I said, thank you for having me. There'll be different material each time. And if anyone needs the Home Warranty 101, or I can do a separate new agent training, it's totally different than this. This is just highlighting. I had often talked about OnMark Pro or just other things and just wanted to be able to highlight that. Then it's available to you, and I'm available as well. And I thank you for your time.
Marcia, Doretha does have another question.
Sure.
It was something that you highlighted on. I just wanted to get a little bit more information. And that is, so if a seller is selling his or her home and they have roof issues or something like that, and they do it, and they elect to have American Home Shield or HSA, and before there's a contract or something like that, does that get their roof repaired for them, or no? They find
I
out
didn't
they
hear, I didn't hear the last part of the question. I'm sorry. I think my volume must be down. I can hardly hear you. My apologies. I think you were talking about, what is it, the listing coverage? Is that what you were talking about for a seller?
yes.
Okay. Um, Getting seller buyer coverage. So you won the listing, congratulations. And then you're speaking to the seller about having coverage. It allows them to, if you do it before the home inspection report.
Mhm.
So when the report comes out, failures on the report, that could be things like plumbing leaks. It could be your HVAC not working. It could be electrical outlets, electrical fixtures. It could be, the last report I had, there were plumbing issues. There was in the master bath shower, or the downstairs in the basement, or there's a stoppage in the tub. The HVAC wasn't working. Some electrical outlets weren't working. So different things like that. But the key is having the warranty in place before the report comes. Because if you wait till afterwards, then you're looking at the list and they're all known then. And that means they'd all be pre-existing as opposed to undetectable pre-existing conditions. But they have to be failures, because sometimes on the reports, the contractors put interesting things. We don't cover missing parts, or to move things. If everything is working fine, sometimes they say if it's a code violation or if it's a permit's needed, but it's working fine, then the home warranty industry doesn't cover things when they're working fine. We step in when there are things that are not working. So then that allows you to be able to place a service request. I'm happy to, and I do it very often. You ever have the seller buyer coverage in place, and then just email it to me, and then I go over it with my corporate office, and then I send it back so you know ahead of time, and you know whether you can make a service request for something or not. So it's not a guessing whether you make it and then you don't know. So this allows you to know ahead of time. I'm just saying it's a service that I offer. Some things might be black and white. If your AC is not working, then you know you can make a service request, but it may be some other items. Sometimes I get into, there's reports that are very technical about electrical things, or sometimes on HVAC, or sometimes on plumbing. One that I looked at, there were no failures, but the contractor was saying all the different things about the galvanized pipes, and went so much into detail, but everything was working perfectly fine. And he said there's no leaks and but it just made the buyer feel nervous. So I'm also happy to talk to your clients as buyers or sellers on either side, to be able to, buyers agents or sellers agents as well, to be able to explain. But it's just having it in place before. That makes sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Well, we're
Yeah,
really,
and Sheila, may I highlight one thing? And the reason I had the first two slides is because literally now, all of a sudden, for whatever reason, probably because the market's changed, and maybe sellers, because there's low inventory and they're not offering a warranty, then I'm getting calls from buyers agents saying, I want to see if I can get these items on the inspection report fixed, and there's no seller's coverage. You know, it's like me plugging my ear and saying, if there was seller's coverage in place, then I could help them, but without that. And in Virginia and Maryland, it's $65. In West Virginia, for example, for American Home Shield, it's $75. And of course, you can get the HSA already has a seller's coverage, and if you want HVAC, that's the additional $40. So it behooves someone to get the additional $40, but it just allows them to have coverage. So a buyer isn't moving in without coverage. Anybody, any more questions? Yeah, and I'm happy, like
they can actually use the riders also. If the home actually has a home warranty, they can actually use the home warranty riders on their signs.
oh yeah, I think I went back to the, yeah, this is the Caldwell Banker one to the right, which is 1-year home protection plan, since it's called the Caldwell Banker Protection Plan. And then of course with HSA at the top left is the home warranty included with HSA. So
And we
sign
need
riders
some
are
of those.
available.
we don't have any of those. The
You don't have any? Oh, I'm happy. I'll make sure you get them. I'll have them sent to
the
you.
riders for HSA, we don't really have much for the HSA.
Okay. Okay, I'll make sure you have them. Oh, may I also have, this is from another Caldwell Banker agent. He told me he did this because his market, it seems like, this is before the pandemic, but he just said this worked for him. So he said, please share this with other Caldwell Banker family. He said that let me go back to it. In the Opus House kits, this lower area, let's see, I don't have to the lower right where it says 1 year home warranty, that's actually a tent card. So he would put that on top of the old HVAC system or on top of the old water heater. So when folks were physically going into a home, where buyers initially may not feel so warm and fuzzy about the 25-year-old HVAC or the same thing with a water heater, but when they saw a home warranty card on top of it, it helped as far as the buyer's mindset. Instead of telling the agent, okay, let's move to another house. They may have loved the house, except the HVAC is old, the water heater is old, but we absolutely love the house. But now, oh, tell me more about that warranty. What does that mean? You know, then if you have questions, just call Marcia. I'm happy to go over it. I mean, you can give them the general information, but if they ever have questions, we can go into detail. Because they also find that once someone has proper expectations about the warranty, so they always give them the contract where it has the details about the warranty and the coverage, and then that just makes it easier because they're setting proper expectations. That makes sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Any other questions? No?
I think we're good.
Thank you all for the opportunity to speak with you today. And also, if there's in the future, if there's anything that you'd like to know more about, for example, I'm doing a new agent training in another Caldwell Banker office, and we're going to I'm going to have live home inspection reports. So we're going to go through that, or we're going to go through claim scenarios. So the meetings can be whatever you all want to hear. They want more information on that. So I'm doing that next week, so I can offer whatever you all want that makes it meaningful and impactful that can help you.
I think that's amazing. Do you mind to switch the host to me and I'll
yeah,
go ahead and stop the recording? And I've got to see if the food's here, and if it is.
Okay, hopefully I did that right?
I think so. Sorry everybody. Yeah. Actually, it's still you. Go up to participants.
Yes.
And then click more, or where you see me premiere.
I'm sorry.
Hover over that.
Oh my, now it disappeared. Where did I don't know what has happened here. My apologies,
That's
Sheila.
okay. So just where it says participants, and then it should show Debbie, you, and myself.
Yes, I'll go to more. Okay.
So go to more, and then just make me the host. And we'll be good.
Are you back as host? I hope you are.
I am. So
wonderful. Sorry about that.